Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Trained by Shao Khan. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune for the rest of what if's coming your way over Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. If you're new, yes. You heard that correctly. I did have 3 channels: Anime King 2 and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, this will begin this new episode. Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto left Kimimaro in charge of the sound until he rightfully took over, while he brought Karen back to Konoha, along with the rest of his guards, as he introduced Karen to Tsunade, who was happy to see another Uzumaki. Tsunade knew about Naruto's plan, unlike most others. The Elemental Nation was in chaos. Soon enough there would be a war that would be breaking out, as things were not stable at all. But Naruto's dream, Naruto's ambition, would change all of that, so Tsunade had accepted his terms. As she realized that with his goal, what he was destined to be, he was the only thing that can change his world, and she was gonna put her faith in him. So Naruto had her back in him. But that was not the only thing. With Naruto rising in power, not to mention having the backing of Tsunade, which everyone could see after all, the council meeting was put in his favor because of her. There was clans rising up to try and propose a marriage between Naruto and their daughters after all. Soon enough he was going to be the head of his clan, as Tasumi Inuzaka wanted to get ahead of this, as she spoke to Hana about it. Hana at least wanted to meet him and talk to him first before she agreed to anything. But they were not the only ones. The Hyugas were conspiring behind Hayashi's back, so that they can remain the powerful clan within Konoha and gain their power elsewhere. But that was not the only problem. Naruto got some information from Hiruzen, the memories that he took from him while absorbing his soul. As the memories entail Hiruzen taking Naruto heritage, everything that belonged to him, and giving it to the Fire Daimyo. As Raiden had spoken to him quite well, and Hiruzen had made it his purpose not to make Naruto achieve what he was going to achieve after all. If he did, it would mean doom for the Elemental Nation. As Naruto was pissed off as he made his way straight towards the capital. Arriving there, the Fire Daimyo sent all of his samurais on Naruto. But what was samurais compared to a ninja like him? He defeated all of them with a massive swing of his hammer as he marched towards the man, as he grabbed all of Naruto documents, all of the important documents that belonged to Naruto, all of the money, everything. As there was a lot of wealth left behind from the Uzumaki. After all, Kushina was from the royal blood in the Uzumakis, and all of that belonged to Naruto, and not to mention the Fort Akagi Minato as well. As all of the inheritance, the Fire Daimyo had everything, lands, properties, everything. As Naruto went there, as the man tried to hide and run, using his samurais as pawns to get away, as Naruto spoke to them, they realized that he could not stop this monstrosity, as some of them just stopped fighting, as they were gonna die if they move a muscle, and he made them very well clear of that. So with that, the group made their way, parting aside as Naruto marched towards the man and crushed him. As the samurais want to know what will happen now as Naruto sat down in the throne, he will take the throne. As many of them were skeptical about this, but he inspired them, his words, by his actions, everything. He was not a spineless, cowardless leader. He will fight alongside them. He will stand by them. As a people, they got inspired. When Anko and Shizune found about this, they were shocked, as Naruto was able to claim the seat because of the royal blood that ran through Kushina's veins and through his as well. As Danzo heard about this, he was pissed off. This was bad, really bad, as he could get nowhere close to Naruto right now. Him and the two other elders conspiring to take down Naruto, but this just boosted the boy's power, and there was really nothing that they could do right now. So they had to wait. As for Naruto, as he got the letter from the Hyugas, it seems the elders want to propose a marriage behind Hayashi's back. As Naruto smirked at that, he would simply have a meeting with them and call Hayashi so he can intervene. As Uncle laughed at the delightful plan. So yeah guys, so basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place and check it for yourself, and also remember to stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, what is we get right into this guys. We begin this episode with the warlord himself, as Naruto walked into Konoha with a small army of samurai bodyguards. They did not need to protect him though. They knew firsthand that their daimyo was on a level way beyond them, and even the shinobis in this village. With each step that they took, the people of Konoha whispered that the new ruler of our country was a monster, and questioned how the samurais could serve such a creature. Some of the samurai guards were surprised by this because the whispers were close to treason, but yet Naruto paid them no mind. It was like their words were expected, and it really meant nothing. As he walked through Konoha, the newly crowned Fire Lord and the Warlord noticed Root Shinobi's tail in him. Why don't you all relax for a little bit? I have some important business I need to discuss with a few people in private, said Naruto. Are you sure, Daimyo-sama? Shouldn't one of us be with you at all times? Asked one samurai as he kept on looking around for any possible threats. Perhaps, but those I'm going to see soon will only discuss you since their ideals are in contradiction to your own. But do not worry, they have neither the power or the skills to defeat me, said Naruto. The bodyguards looked at each other before they bowed their head as they left his side. As Naruto started to walk, you were wise to have them leave, the Root Shinobi said, flashing beside Naruto, as he was ordered by Danzo-sama to convince the boy to follow him. Why? Because you and the others in hiding were gonna kill them, questioned Naruto as he saw several Root Shinobis hiding in the shadows of several buildings. Danzo-sama requests your presence, said the Root Shinobi, as Naruto chuckled. Requests? You don't mean demand? That man don't request anything from anyone. He demands everything from everyone, and requests nothing from no one. As one of the Root Shinobis twitched a bit, with Naruto installed towards the Warhawk Danzo. Nonetheless, Danzo-sama still wishes to speak with you in a private meeting, said the Root Shinobi, as Naruto simply chuckled. Very well, but not now. I have a scheduled appointment with the Hyuga clan, and being late would raise suspicions upon your boss. And we both know that you wouldn't risk that, said Naruto. As Root Shinobi simply nodded. After you are done then, as he along with the others vanished deeper into the darkness. Fools, said Naruto, as he arrived towards the Hyuga compound. Halt! State your business, a branch guard said. I'm here to speak to the Hyuga elders. They're expecting me regarding an answer from a proclamation that they sent me not too long ago at the Fire Lord capital where I rule, said Naruto. I see, the other guard said. This way, sir. As he escorted Naruto, the guard glanced towards Naruto as he felt an ominous feeling coming from him, as he decided to keep his head straight. As Naruto noticed Hayashi was not here, the man had no knowledge of this meeting, as he was brought towards the private quarters. Daimyo-sama, how good of you to see us. When you sent word that you would meet us in person, I think I can speak for everyone here and say that I was shocked and honored that you would speak to us in person, especially about your offer. The Hyuga elder said as he bowed his head slightly. I'm glad to know that you're so willing to welcome me in your clan with open arms, said Naruto, all things considered. As some of the elders frowned slightly. Daimyo-sama? The man questioned. Considering how I was hated, scorned, abused, and downright depressed by the people of this village for most of my childhood, it is refreshing to know that the Hyuga clan do not follow the ways of such commoners, said Naruto in a slightly mocking tone. Oh, who was he kidding? Naruto was mocking them, and they had to sit there and take it with smiles on their faces. Yes, well, it just goes to show how more superior of a level the Hyuga is on compared to the rest of the people in his village. Well, my memories of the past say otherwise, said Naruto, his eyes flashing crimson. Yes, of course. Mistake on our end. But the past is in the past, and it should stay in the past, the man said, as he was getting a bit nervous. Well then, now I believe that we're here to discuss the proposal that you sent me not too long ago, said Naruto, as their nervousness vanished, as they decided to refocus on the task at hand. Yes, we wish to have Hinata Hyuga be married to you in an arranged marriage to further strengthen your rule over the Fire Country. While annexing Whirlpool was a wise move, Daimyo-sama, you need to marry someone with noble blood in the Fire Country to prevent anyone from questioning your claim to the throne, said the elder. Oh, of course, said Naruto. And who amongst the various clans in Konoha is more worthy than the ever-prestigious Hinata Hyuga, said Naruto. She has always liked you, Daimyo-sama, since before your rise to the throne of Daimyo Fire Country, the elder said. That she has, said Naruto. But I know for a fact that you're not doing this for her. That you have little to no love for that girl that you're marrying off. Hence why you have so much stipulation and clause put in place to benefit your clan, which are very steep for me. As Naruto threw the scroll with the marriage proposal and all the condition towards him, we thought such terms were fair, Daimyo-sama. It is believed that such terms would help provide incentive to have children in Hinata-sama as soon as possible, the elder said. As Naruto's eyes narrowed, by incentives you mean pay tribute to your clan, fatten your wallets, and basically use her like a leech against me. Once she's been wrapped tightly around my neck for you to pull whenever you want something, said Naruto as his tone started to get darker. The room started to tremble as all the men started to look around as sweat creased their brow. We don't know what you mean, Daimyo-sama, the man said. His voice started to panic a lot. Oh, but I do, said Naruto, as the room continued to shake. You want to make her a slave to you while being married to me. By doing that, you can try to manipulate me through her. And while we have children, you can further sink your claws into my growing empire. You are all leeches, parasites, feeding off all the flesh and power around you, while giving nothing back except your so-called wisdom. That benefits you in the long run, said Naruto. The Hyuga is offering you the heirs of our clan, the second elder spoke up. The one that you consider to be the weak and useless ones of two potential heirs. But we feel that she's better suited to be your wife than being the future clan head of our clan, the third elder said. And how does Hayashi-san feel about this, said Naruto? The elders looked at each other. It was the first elder that spoke up. Hayashi-san, he asked. Yes. How does he feel about you doing this without even asking him a single damn thing? Or did you not tell him what you have done, said Naruto? He will be told in due time, Daimyo-sama. His duties to the clan right now are more important, the first elder said. So in other words, you won't tell him until it's official and too late to stop it, said Naruto. As the elder started to scowl. We are doing what is best for the clan and for the leaf, the first elder said. You are doing this for yourself. Do not lie to me, said Naruto. And what if we are, the second one said, getting up? The clan will benefit in the end through this. When it is official, when you sign the signature. Wrong. It needs to be my signature and Hayashi-san's signature, said Naruto. Without it, this contract is just a waste of paper, and I will not sign it because stipulations are insulting to me and Hinata, said Naruto. But you need to agree to this. Without it, the daimyos from the other country would challenge your right to the throne, and even some in your own court as well. Your predecessor's family will claim the right to the seat of the throne unless you marry Hinata-sama. Under our term, the Hyuga said, as Naruto started to growl angrily. You think I give a damn what the other daimyos of other countries think of me being on the throne of Fire Country? I don't. If I decide to marry Hinata Hyuga, it will be under my terms, and anyone that challenges that will be destroyed, said Naruto. Please, Daimyo-sama, reconsider the marriage proposal that we set up. It will benefit us all in the end. It will only benefit you three, said Naruto. Since all of you has considerable influence in the finances of the clan. That is why I decided to take all three of you out of the equation. As Naruto summoned his wrath hammer, "Guards! Guards!" the elder called out. But there was no movement from outside, and no one came in. In case you haven't figured it out yet, the guards are not going to help, since they're under order to let what happens in this room stays in this room, said Naruto. What? All three of them said in shock. You should know I sent a message to Hayashi before my arrival here today, and he wasn't exactly pleased with all three of you going behind his back. So we have come up with the conclusion that all three of you needs to be erased from the clan and the village, said Naruto. As Naruto vanished, the elders froze as Naruto was now behind them. He raised his hammer. A few seconds, that was all it took, as the room was covered in blood. As Naruto stepped outside, "I thank you for bringing this to my attention. I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for you." Hayashi says he was outside as Naruto stepped out, covered in blood. "You're welcome," said Naruto. "Now, about our deal regarding Hinata-chan future," said Naruto. Hayashi's body went rigid a bit as he sent a small glare Naruto away. Not that it affected him in the slightest. "As we agreed upon, my daughter can marry whoever she wishes without interference from myself or the clan. But, considering her feelings for you, I have a feeling who my son-in-law would be, and I have mixed feelings about that," Hayashi said. But Naruto simply smirked. "Do not worry, Hayashi-san," he said. "No harm will come to Hinata-chan, if anything. You should worry about those who cross her when her training regime is complete that I have in store for her. When she becomes a truly vicious kunoichi," said Naruto. As Naruto let out a laugh that made Hayashi shiver a bit. As Naruto was already walking away, as Hayashi watched him, time skip, after getting cleaned up, Naruto made his way. "Welcome to my domain, Daimyo-sama," said Danzo. "Your hospitality leave much to be desired, Danzo," said Naruto as he looked around. "You will treat Danzo with the proper respect he deserves, Uzumaki. You may be a daimyo now, but your position of power is not as strong as you think," Koharu said. "It is namikaze to you three," said Naruto. "As for my power base, I think it is strong enough to handle you, Homura, and Danzo, and his little private army. That shouldn't be around," said Naruto. As Danzo one visible eye narrowed, right at Naruto. "You seem very confident of that fact," Danzo said. As Naruto smirked, "You also seem very confident that your side can manipulate me to do what you want," said Naruto. "That is quite the accusation, Namikaze-san," said Homura, as Naruto chuckled. "You forget, I have the souls and memories of those who know you best. You will seek to manipulate me using politics, brute force, blackmail, and whatever you think that might work." As Naruto looked towards Danzo's arm, Danzo frowned. "Orochimaru, perform the procedures on me, so the brat knows where the memories." As Danzo twitched his finger, as Naruto glanced towards the shadows, "Do you really think that Yamanaka clan member you have can manipulate my mind when your Sharingan cannot?" Homura and Koharu became tense as Danzo, visible eye narrowed dangerously. "I have no idea what you're talking about," said Danzo, as Naruto got amused. "Oh really?" he said. As a light spear formed in Naruto's hands, seconds as Naruto threw it burst through the air and spin the Yamanaka to the wall. "That was uncalled for," Koharu said, inwardly cursing the boy detection abilities. "He was planning to attack my mind. Granted, he would have failed, given that my mind is immune to such mental abilities," said Naruto. "But I felt I need to make it clear that such acts of manipulations will not work. And they will not be tolerated," said Naruto. As Danzo grit his teeth, "Then what do you wish of us, Daimyo-sama?" "Simple. I want you to reactivate Root," said Naruto. Now that shocked everyone in the room. "What?" said Danzo, not hiding his shock. "You heard me, Danzo. I want your Root Shinobis back out in the field. They are no longer disbanded. I'm returning them back to official active service to return and fight under my name and under my rules," said Naruto. "If that is the case, you just killed one of them, and he was very skilled when it comes to entering the minds of his enemies," said Koharu, as Naruto simply shrugged. "No skin off my back. He was more loyal to Danzo than the two of you anyway," said Naruto. What exactly are you implying, Homura asks? That Konoha root shinobis are more loyal to Danzo than they would to Fire Country or even Hokage, said Naruto. Preposterous. Root shinobis are Konoha shinobis. They defend Konoha and the Fire Country, away from all the enemies in the shadow, said Koharu. As Naruto smirked. Or really, he said. Let's bring one into this room right now, and give that shinobi an order. Who among our two sides do you think the shinobi will be when given a command? Danzo or myself, Naruto questioned. There is no need to perform such a test, Daimyo-sama, said Danzo. I insist on it, Danzo, said Naruto. Danzo frowned. Very well, he said. A simple twitch of his hand as the root shinobi dropped down. In between the both of them. Yes, Danzo-sama, the root shinobi said. We have a test that needs to be done, and you're a test subject, said Naruto. The new Fire Daimyo is right, crew. We need your assistance in this test. That the Daimyo is testing the loyalty of root shinobis to Konoha. I am honored to participate, Danzo-sama, the root shinobi said. The test is merely asking you some questions. Failure to answer truthfully will result in badly, not for you only but for Danzo and his lackeys, said Naruto, as he narrowed his eyes at the both of them, as the opposition clearly was displeased by the way he phrased that. But Naruto really did not give a damn. What are the questions, said Crew. What are your primary objectives for being a root shinobi? What are your purpose, said Naruto. Crew didn't say anything for a few seconds until he finally spoke. To protect Konoha, he answered the first question, and Danzo-sama from all harm, he stated. And if Danzo was charged with crimes against Konoha with proof of his misdeeds at hand, said Naruto, would you arrest him, or would you protect him, said Naruto. There's no need to ask such a question, said Kaoru, as Naruto gave snap towards her. It is not an unreasonable question, besides, I'm not speaking to you, old hag, said Naruto. I'm asking this root shinobi. Now, be quiet. Koharu was infuriated by his disrespect, but said nothing. I will protect Danzo-sama, the root said. I thought it was your primary duty to protect Konoha first, and Danzo second. How is protecting Danzo more important than protecting Konoha, said Naruto. As Crow paused for a second before he spoke. By protecting Konoha, we protect the one true defender of this village, and help him protect the village against the future enemies, said Crow. Ah, I see, said Naruto. You mean his version of Konoha future, not the one I envision or the one the current Hokage envisioned as well. Danzo-sama vision is what the vision of Konoha should be, said Crow, as Naruto scowled at that. So if you were given an order by your very own daimyo, who owns the Fire Country and this very village that you serve in, you would disobey that order to follow Danzo's orders. I assure you, Daimyo-sama, if Crow was given an order by you, he would obey immediately. And if my order contradicts that, he would not follow my order, said Danzo. Then he can tell me that himself. Now be quiet, said Naruto, as Naruto turned towards Crow. He's my subordinate, said Danzo. I said, be quiet! He's your subordinate just like you're my subordinate, said Naruto. I am my own master. I may not be Hokage or Daimyo, but I will not bow to no one, Danzo shot back. But Naruto did not speak to the man. Tell me, Crow, if I order you to kill Danzo on charges that he's a traitor to Konoha, would you obey? As Crow found himself unable to reply. I am not a traitor to Konoha, Danzo said, stomping his cane on the ground furiously. Your alliance with Orochimaru said otherwise, Danzo. Remember, I have the Sani memories, and I know he gave you your alterations. I know that you provide him the means to infiltrate the village, and I know that you leaked the information. Danzo's face went pale, before it went red with anger. The third was a fool. He needed to be removed so I could take over. He failed at turning you into a weapon. I am Konoha best, and it would be great under my rule, said Danzo, whether by sitting in the Hokage's chair or manipulate those who rule from the shadows, Danzo said. Oh really, said Naruto. So it's all out then, said Naruto, as red power started to swirl around him. Root to me, said Danzo, as his root flocked down out of everywhere. Taking the coward's way out, I see. How predictable. It is no wonder why you were passed over for the position of Hokage of Konoha. You lack the will of fire the first Hokage preached about to handle the title, said Naruto. As that only infuriated Danzo further, as he started to unclip the seal on his arms. We will see who is what when I use the combined power of the Sharingan eyes and the power of the Senju clan to tame you, said Danzo. I will now become your master just as Mother Uchiha was the Kyuubi's. As he sent his Tsuchinobi forward while using the opportunity to unseal his arm. Fool! The power of the Uchiha and Senju that is surgically implanted in your arm cannot shackle me like it shackled Kurama all those years ago. But you will soon learn that the hard way when you fall at my feet, ready to take your last breath. As Naruto turned and smash his wrath hammer into the ground as it cracked, Kohara and the others jumped back. As Naruto ripped apart all the root shinobis, they were nothing compared to him. The third was a fool to give you so much freedom. A weapon such as you do not deserve it, Homura said. As Naruto moved and slammed his shoulder into the man, a shoulder tackle, Homura cried out in pain as he was sent sailing, several bones breaking his body as he crashed into the wall and collapsed down. Daggers of light jutsu, said Kohara as she threw several kunais, as it was a projection of light, as they all stabbed into Naruto's back. Is that all you got? As Naruto shrugged off the weapons, you're pathetic. He turned and threw the rat hammer. The woman was not fast enough as it slammed into her chest. Blood spewing from her mouth as she pinned her against the wall, crushing her body inside. And you are outclassed, said Danzo, as he used the Senju bloodline to trap Naruto with wood. Is this supposed to frighten me, said Naruto, as Danzo started to walk towards him. No, but you will know fear once I use my power in your mind. For you to submit to my will. You will stay daimyo, but you will not make a move without my orders, without my say-so. I am in command now, and you will do what I want, when I want. You will do what I say. You will do what I say, without hesitation. You belong to me, said Danzo, as he tried to forcefully use the Sharingan to control Naruto. You fool, said Naruto, as Danzo stepped back. I belong to no one. Obey me, said Danzo. I command you to submit to my will, and obey me. His eye always work on those he used it on, so for it to fail on this boy. He refused to believe that this boy was his better. Fine, said Danzo. If you won't submit to the power of the Uchihas and Senjus, then you will submit to good old-fashioned pain, said Danzo, as he drew the hidden sword from his cane and prepared to stab Naruto with it. Guess again, said Naruto. With a primal roar, Naruto exploded out of the wooden prison. Impossible, said Danzo, as he stepped back in fury, as Naruto called his war hammer as it landed right in his palm. I will not be denied the power that was rightfully mine, said Danzo. Pathetic, said Naruto. This power was never yours to command. You cannot stand others that are in possession of powers you yourself cannot get, forcing your body to go through an unnatural sense to gain power, said Naruto as he shook his head, as he walked towards the old man that snarled at him. You know nothing, boy, said Danzo. The right to control a Kyuubi is in my blood. My father was an Uchiha, said Danzo. But he went against clan mandate and fell in love with some bitch of a woman outside the clan. It was bad enough I was never allowed to call myself Uchiha, but I had a rare genetic deficiency from my mother's side that prevented me from ever awakening the Sharingan. I was cast out of the clan when I was a mere baby. My father was killed, and my mother was forbidden from ever mentioning to me, under the penalty of us both dying. On her deathbed, she told me, and I could not forgive her. I could not have the Sharingan unless I surgically implanted it in my body, and even then there was a chance of it failing. However, Orochimaru was skilled enough to prevent that from failing, and even used the Senju DNA to keep it in check, said Danzo. Naruto shook his head as he put away the Wrath Hammer and unsealed the Kusanagi, as it seemed more fitting for this task. As I said, you're pathetic, said Naruto. Let's see how pathetic I am when you're at my feet. Broken, said Danzo. That's interesting, said Naruto, because I was thinking something very similar. As Danzo attacked with his blade, with that speed, one his age should not possess. Using Kusanagi as the thing got covered in a red cloak as Naruto moved fast and Danzo could even see as both men leapt at each other before coming out the other end. Danzo cried out in pain as his arm was sliced off and his eye was gouged out. As Danzo got back to his feet, blood pooling down his face and his arm. "You may have won the battle, but I will come out on top in the end," said Danzo as he was about to activate the seal on his chest to take himself out along with Naruto. "You fool. You think I'm the real Naruto?" "I am merely a clone," said Naruto. "What? You're lying," said Danzo. "I hate you. You'd have quickly been dispersed," said Danzo as the seals on his body started to glow. "I am no miniature clone, you fool. I was forged by the original. A skill the real Naruto learned from his forefather, Shao Khan, in the outworld. He knew that he would try something, and he created me in the Yagura compound. It wasn't worth his time to come down here. You are just that pathetic, Danzo. You will die here, killing just a clone of your enemy, and no one here will survive," said Naruto. As the Kusanagi blade vanished back towards the pocket dimension where the right hammer was located. Its creator were needed for the battles that would be coming in the future. "Damn you," said Danzo as seal in his chest activated, obliterating the remaining root shinobis that were there. Meanwhile, Hokage's tower, with the real Naruto. "It is done," said Naruto. "Their time in this world has passed." As Tsunade nodded. "Good. With Danzo, Koharu, Homie are gone. The Civilian Council has lost their thanks. And now they can stop bothering me with your nonsense. I swear, they've been trying to join me in paperwork, so they can do things behind my back." "That is a possibility," said Naruto, "but no more. I am ordering a new Shinobi Council to be formed. That control the Civilian Council, but to not overstep the authority of the Hokage. Any such actions will be met with charge of treasons and executed on the spot. I'm tired of the bureaucrat red tape that they put around Konoha. It is by time that they are removed. Consider it done, Daimyo-sama," said Tsunade, as Naruto chuckled a bit. "There is also the matter of one Kakashi Hatake and Sasuke Uchiha." "How so?" said Tsunade. "Kakashi Hatake is to be demoted to Chunin, and Sasuke Uchiha will stay genin, while keeping his movements limited in the village, until a few experts from the Yamanaka clan clear him fit for duties." Tsunade nodded. She had read the reports. "Consider it done," she said. "Anything else?" "No, that is it." "See you around, Tsunade," he said, as he left the room. "Well, the kid is sure something," said Jiraiya. As Tsunade nodded. "That he is. Any word on the Akatsuki?" she asked. "No, they're being rather silent right now. My contact said that you're going to wait 3 years. Gather what they can. So that gives us 3 years to whip the new generation in shape," said Jiraiya. As Tsunade nodded. "And while that is happening, our godson is planning on waging a long-fought war with another country and shinobis in the water," said Tsunade. "Well, he's a daimyo, no Heim. It's his way, or you're dead," said Jiraiya. As Tsunade did not like that part. But it had to be done. Time skip. 1 month later, Water Country. "It is just like I remembered," said Suigetsu, as he saw the forest region in Water Country, as it hasn't changed that much. "It is not bad. I've seen better though," said Naruto, as Naruto narrowed his eyes towards the west. "And what about me? Have you seen a better woman than myself?" a female voice said. A woman in a blue kimono, a rather curvy body, and flowing red hair spoke. "I do not judge a woman on their beauty," said Naruto. "I judge them by their souls. And you, my dear, have one that matched your body quite well." She tilted her head as she found his response quite strange. "So you have some kind of power to see into people's souls?" she asked, as she walked over towards him. "Something like that," said Naruto. "Careful, boss. Karen might get jealous," said Suigetsu, with a grin on his face. "She's always jealous," said Naruto, as Suigetsu nodded in agreement. "Can't argue with that," he said. "Forgive my rudeness," he said, turning his head, "but I have yet to ask your name," as he looked towards the red-headed woman. "I am Mei Terume, the leader of the rebels, against the Mizukage of the Mist," said Mei, as she saw that he was a real deal, so there was no reason to hide it from him, especially since it was known that Naruto has Jiraiya of the Sonian spy network at his disposal. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, new ruler of Fire Country. The man standing behind me is my trusted bodyguard Shigetsu, former ninja of the Mist. 7 ninja swordsman in training, said Naruto. Shigetsu gave a mock salute as he hefted up Zabuza's old sword. As Naruto had disliked the idea of removing Zabuza's blade from its resting place and giving it to Shigetsu. However, Shigetsu had been whining, pleading, and arguing his case for the sword every single chance that he got. It was to the point where Naruto nearly ripped off his head, but he stayed his hand, as it was the tradition for the sword to be given a new master when the old one died. So with a great deal of control, Naruto agreed to let him have the blade, but to not disrespect its predecessor. He's holding Momokai Zabuza's weapon, said me. As Naruto nodded, Zabuza is dead. He died in wave from his interest after killing his backstabbing client Gato, said Naruto. I see. It seems the blade has not rejected Shigetsu, so it's his by right. We are getting off topic, Mi-san. If you would be so kind to fill us in with the situation with the Mizukage and his forces, that would be nice, said Naruto. Very well, but not here. Follow me, she said, as Mei brought them back to her secret location where the rebel forces were hiding out. Our forces are nearly tied with the Mizukages. Many shinobis who do not agree with his new policies are coming over to our side, and some of them spy for us within the walls. Our intel has told us that he's getting tired of us and wants to send out his best forces to eliminate us once and for all. Even what we have here though, and our secrets in Mist, we are still outnumbered by a small fraction, and if we drop back, things will be turned against us rather quickly, she said, as she showed Naruto on the map layout. And you need my help to thin such a fraction to the point where they don't become a threat anymore, said Naruto. As Mei nodded, yes, after you successfully sack Rice Country and fuse it into fire 2 weeks ago, I had hoped that you can do the same with Mist and help us overthrow the Water Daimyo, since he was a Mizukage's key supporter. With him removed, I can have the position of Mizukage without worrying about anyone being put in the mantle from the Water Daimyo's control, and this happening all over again. Sacking Rice Country was easy, Mi-san. I had help there with the Shinobis of Sound, agent that was placed there before the attack. Not to mention the Daimyo there didn't have as many support or men like the Water Daimyo does. Once I'm done with Mist, I need to plan accordingly to take on the Water Daimyo to ensure that he doesn't come back to hurt you, said Naruto. Not to be disrespectful, but will it just be you and Shigetsu aiding us in this upcoming battle? I was hoping for more support, stated me, as Naruto released a small chuckle. Do not worry. I have another agent in the field with a team scouting ahead where the Mist is located. He knew the area quite well. He was born here, like Shigetsu, said Naruto. Oh, said me curiously. Yes. His name is Kimimaro Kaguya, said Naruto. Mei eyes widened in shock. A Kaguya? I thought they were all killed when the clan charged an all-out assault on the Mist, said Mei. He's the last of his clan. I had him keep control of Sound when I took it over, until I took the throne and merged Sound with Fire Nation, said Naruto. When the time comes, Kimimaro will meet up with us, and we can take the fight with the Mizukage once the time comes. As Mei nodded, she was impressed by the way he handled things. No sooner than did Naruto stop speaking, Kimimaro along with the other Sound ninjas arrive at Naruto's feet as they bow. Naruto-sama, we have successfully finished our scouting mission, and we're ready to make a full report. Report, said Naruto, as Kimimaro rose along with the others. The Mizukage has spread his forces thin throughout the village. They do not have the means to protect themselves on all fronts. If we attack one section of the village, a weaker force can attack another section. His forces are already spread thin enough. He will not be able to hold off the real force that is going in to face off against the Mizukage. How soon can your forces be ready to attack the Mist? Said Naruto as he turned towards me. Considering that everyone is tired of his rule. Tomorrow, she said. Tomorrow it is, said Naruto. Prepare your forces, Mi-san, tomorrow. The Mizukage see his last sunrise, said Naruto, as he walked out of the tent with his bodyguards. As Ayo stepped towards her, I don't trust him, Terumi-sama. His power, it is strange. As he was using his Byakugan to see Naruto's power, and there was no end to it. which doesn't really make any sense. Ayo, said May in a sweet tone. Is Terumi-sama? Shut up, or I'll kill you, she said to him. As she walked out of the tent, the man was sweating. That woman will be the death of me, he thought. Time skip. Yagura was sitting down in his office. As he felt something off. Something was not right. Something. Suddenly a flash of lightning appeared in his office. Yagura got up. Mizukagi, your village, is about to be attacked, Raiden said. Who are you? How do you know such things, said Yagura. The beast inside him was telling him not to cross this beam. By any means necessary not to attack him. I am Raiden, one of the elder gods. An elemental god of lightning. I have come here to warn you of the attack that are led by the rebels, their leader Mei Terumi, and their ally, Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. It is the latter of the two that shall concern you, since he planned to take your head, said Raiden, as he made the image of Naruto appear. Why are you telling me this? Said Yagura as he narrowed his eyes. Because the boy is a threat to this realm, and he must be killed, and with the rules set by the other elder gods, he must die. By mortal hands, Raiden said. If you are a god as you claim, break the rules and do it yourself, said Yagura. Lightning exploded around the room. Do not question me, mortal. These rules was set, and they must be followed. Unless he challenged me to mortal combat himself, I cannot fight and kill him in battle. So it falls to you, Mizukagi, to do it in my stead. If not, you will not live to see another day. And this is not a threat by me. But what is coming will end your existence. Time skip. The moment dawn rise, Naruto and his group enact their plan and they were able to break through. Naruto along with Suigetsu and the Stone Forlong Kimimaro was currently in battle. The closest ones to the towers were Anvus, as the Mizukagi had kept them close, while the others were Jonins and Chunins. While this was happening, the main rebel army was fighting Yagura forces, and the ones that sympathized with the rebels start to switch sides, surprising the loyalists. The battle was getting bloody and brutal. Yagura had enough. A massive onslaught of chakra washed over the area. You dare oppose me, the Mizukagi? You will all die, said Yagura. As the Biju chakra reeked through the area, it was monstrous and powerful. Yagura had to tilt his head as a hammer broke through the wall behind him. As it came flying back to Naruto, I will be your opponent. You're the one that Raiden told me about. The one he wants to kill. Very well. Let's see how powerful you really are, little man, said Yagura, as he pulled his hook staff and charged directly towards Naruto. At last, true mortal combat, said Naruto. As he gripped his hammer, the ground quaked underneath him. Let's fight! As he rushed forward and they collided. Down to the back, Terumi-sama can see Yagura fighting. The Fire Country Daimyo, said Ayo. Clash of the Titans, said Mei, as the group was blown back by an onslaught of power. Just mere chakra. Meanwhile, as Naruto jumped back, Yagura came shooting towards him. Die, die, he said, but he was failing badly as Naruto was covered by a strange crimson energy that Yagura could not bypass. Never! I am Naruto Uzumaki Naruto, a conqueror, and I will never bow, and I will never fall, said Naruto. As he smashed Yagura with his shoulder, the man was blown back for about 20 feet as he broke through a house. Yagura had enough as he rushed towards Naruto. His skin quickly burned off as he transformed into a miniature Three Tails as he slammed into Naruto Warhammer. A vicious onslaught of power that resulted in a shockwave blew apart everything around them as the two forces collided with crazy, overwhelming power. As Naruto jumped back, Yagura had enough as he released it all, as the power seemed to just implode. Everything around Naruto started to blow as Naruto stood where he was, as he watched as the monstrosity grew. Everyone started to leap away from the massive Biju, as they were now afraid to go against that. But one man, the Conqueror himself, stood there, as the thing roared. its three massive tails flipping around. The thing was destroying all the remaining things around it, but Yagura did not care as he turned his sights upon Naruto. "Come, beast," said Naruto. "Face me," as he opened his arms. It roared and moved forward. But guys, we'll be in subs right here. If you want to see next parts and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over on Anime King 2 and Anime King 3. That's right, if you're new, I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post so fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we get the hell out of here? See you guys soon. Peace.